Dawn in Year 4, and this is your maths video for if you've got this booklet on Friday the 12th of February. I'm going to start by saying a very big well done to Lewis for a fantastic effort with his home learning. Please keep it up. Now yesterday we started looking at money, and even though it's new doing money at home, we did money when we were in school. So it's not completely brand new. And we looked at these. Who can remember what these are called? So they are coins. And what do we use them for? What's the point of them? We use them to buy things. Brilliant. So can anybody remember then what these coins are worth? What are they worth? So I've got a small coin here. What's that one worth? 1 pence. Well done. And then the next one, it's the same colour as a 1 pence, is a 2 pence. It's just a little bit bigger. Then we've got 5p, brilliant. What's next? 10 pence, well done. And then this one is our first coin that's not circle. What's that one worth? 20 pence. And then 50 pence. And these two coins are the coins that are worth the most. £1 and £2. And we're going to start today, guys, by playing a quick game, okay? So let's get our game loaded. And we'll start by doing some ordering, I think. So we've got some coins at the bottom then, and we're going to order them from the lowest amount all the way up to the highest amount. So which of these coins is worth the smallest amount of money? Okay, so it's this one, isn't it? What comes next? So we've got 1 penny. What's next? 2 pence. Anything else? We haven't got a 5, so it can't be that one. What could it be? 10 pence. Then 20 and 50, and finally our pound. Are we ready to check? Brilliant. Okay, so we're still going lowest to highest then. What's our smallest coin? Again, it's a penny. Then what comes next? 2 pence, brilliant. After that, we've got 5, 20. Now look carefully between the £1 and £2 so you don't get them muddled up. Remember, a pound isn't a circle anymore. Let's check. One more then, guys, but don't worry, I will send the link for you to have a go at home. Okay, so it starts with our penny and then 2 pence. What would come after our 2 pence? What coins can we see there? 5 and the 10. And then 20 and 50. Well done, Year 4. So, your learning question for today is asking you to solve money word problems. So we're really good with money. We know how to find a total where we put it all together. We can do that. But when it's written like this, we get a little bit confused. So we're going to do them together. Okay, so we'll do one on the board together. Then we'll turn to our booklet. I'll read it to you to help you with your reading. But then you've got to answer that question, okay? So, a bottle of water costs 39 pence. A packet of crisps costs 12 pence. more. So it's 12 pence more than 39. How much do the crisps cost? Now, once we've read it year 4, we need to read it again. Okay? That's one way that helps us to answer word problems. We've got to read it again. A bottle of water costs 39p. A packet of crisps costs 12 pence more. How much do the crisps cost? So I've read it twice. Now I'm going to highlight my important information, and we're working with money. So our important information is going to be how much these things cost. So let's get our highlighter on. Okay, so the water costs 39 pence and the crisps cost 12 pence more. And the word more is important because we know that the crisps are more than the water. And yesterday, when we were doing these kinds of questions, we used 100 square to help us, and that's what we're going to do today. So 39 is the first number I'm going to splat on my 100 square. Okay, so let's get my 100 square up. So 39, splatted it. The crisps now cost 12 pence more. Okay, 12 bigger than 39. So let's count 12 more than 39. I want you to count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've now found 12 pence more than 39. And that answer was 51, which means our crisps cost 51 pence. And don't forget to include your pence sign so we know what we are working with. So if I get my visualiser on then year 4, we can answer our first question. And for today's learning, you're going to turn to page 25, okay? So, question number 1. A pear, this one's the pear, costs 14 pence. An orange costs 10 pence more than a pear. What is the price of an orange? So I've read it once. What do I need to do after I've read it once? I need to read it again. So let's read it again. A pear costs 14 pence. An orange costs 10 pence more than a pear. What is the price of an orange? So now that I've read it, I'm going to highlight my important information. So 14, that's important. And then 10 pence more is also important. So we're going to splat a number on our 100 square. What's that number? How much does our pear cost? Splat it on your 100 square year 4 and then find what 10 pence more would be. Well done for that, guys. Let's have a little go at another one. Okay, so an apple costs 25 pence and a smoothie costs 53 pence. How much change would I get? So I've read it once, let's read it again. An apple costs 25 pence and a smoothie costs 53 pence. How much change would I get? And here is some money. This is how much we're going to pay the shopkeeper. But we need to get some money back because that's too much. So the first thing I need to do is highlight my important information. So 25 is important, 53 is important, And then the word change is important because change is what we get given back. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do, because we've got 2 things to do, guys, so it's really tricky, is add these 2 together. Got to add them 2 together. So I'm going to do that on my 100 square. I'm going to splat 53 and add 25. So I'm going to splat 53 and add 25. Now remember, when we add 10s or 20s, we can just go straight down, can't we? So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 53 add 10, 53 add 20, and then add 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 78 pence. So we've got to remember that. 78 pence. That's our total. But then we've got to find the change. So let's see how much money we gave the shopkeeper. 50 add 20. So let's count in tens. 50 add 2 lots of 10. 50, 60, 70. Add 10 more. 70, 80. And then we've got to add 5, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So I give the shopkeeper 85 pence, but it only cost 78 pence. So now I've got to find the difference between these 2. And remember, the difference is how many numbers there are between these 2 amounts. So I'm going to do this using my fingers. I'm going to put 78 in my head and count up until I get to 85. Are we ready? Count along with me at home. 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So how much change, year 4, would I get? I'd get 7 pence change. So my answer is, so it equals 7 pence. Okay, so let's go back to your book then. Question 2. Trang buys a lolly that costs 23 pence and a chocolate bar that costs 30 pence. How much change would she get from the coins below? I'm going to read it again now. Trang buys a lolly that costs 23 pence and a chocolate bar that costs 30 pence. How much change would she get? So I'm going to highlight my important information. 23 is important, 30 is important, and then the word change is important. So you're going to start by adding these 2 numbers together. Okay, once you've done that, make sure you write it down on here somewhere. Okay, but we need to know how much money there is altogether. Now I'm going to help you with that, year 4, because here there is 70 pence. And what you've now got to do, whatever your answer was from adding these 2 numbers together, the answer, you've got to find the difference between the answer and this number. Okay, so I did that using my head, didn't I? How could you do it? Brilliant. Next one then. You're doing so well with this, guys. Sam has the coins below. How much more is needed to make 67 pence? So we've got some coins. Sam has these coins. So this is what Sam's got. That's how much money he's got. How much more is needed to make 67 pence? So let's highlight my important information. And how much more is needed. So the first thing we've got to do is find out how much we've got here. So 50, add 5. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Add 5 more, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Add 1, 60, 61. So we've got 61 pence. But he doesn't need 61 pence. Sam needs 67 pence. So how much more do we need? Got to find the difference again, haven't we? So let's put 61 in our head and count up to 67. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. So how much more is needed? We need 6 more pence, don't we? So the answer is 6 pence. Okay. So question 3 then. Alistair has these coins below. How much more does he need to make 60 pence? So we've got a 20 and a 20 and a 5. How much is that all together? 20 add 20, 20, 40. Let's add 5 more. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So now we've got to find the difference between 45 and 60. I know this is really tricky, guys, but please just keep up your great work. The last type of question for you to do today then. Tom spends 45 pence. Jess spends 10 pence more. How much does Jess spend? So let's read it once more. Tom spends 45 pence. Jess spends 10 pence more. How much does Jess spend? So let's highlight our important information. Okay, so we've got 45, we've got 45 here, 20, 40, 45. And Jess spends 10 more, so we've got to find 10 more than 45. What's 10 more than 45 here for? It's 55, well done. Okay, your last question then in your booklets for today. Ben spent 22 pence. He spent 9 pence more than Declan. How much did Declan spend? So Ben spent 22 pence. And he spent 9 pence more than Declan. How much did Declan spend? So because Ben spent 22 pence, which was 9 pence more than Declan, we're going to do 22 take away 9, and that will give you your answer. But you know I like to set you an extra challenge, and your extra challenge for today, would you rather, so here we've got 29 pence, and here we've got some coins, so I want you to think about which amount you would prefer, and remember when it's money we normally like the biggest amount. And then my question question to finish on is, which part of today's learning did you find most difficult? Don't forget to take a picture and send it to the Year 4 email address.